Welcome to Hancock's VMware Half Hour. And welcome back to another episode of Hancock's VMware Half Hour. Okay, well, I've been struggling with PowerShell, and it isn't a surprise. PowerShell is not my favourite of things, to be honest with you. But anyway, and you're probably asking, well, why are you dealing with PowerShell? Well, quite simply, the reason why I'm dealing with PowerShell is because I wanted to revisit, and following on from the last video that I've done, and let's just basically chop and change here. And this all really started with this video, which was how to not download VMware vSphere updates. Broadcom stops free updates to non-supported accounts, which you can find in my playlist. And it was also thanks to Keith Ambo IO 2502 that says, I was expecting a walkthrough of how to update for this new token access using the script and the manual method. Well, we did part 90 for you, Keith. So that's done. And that's up on the tube there for you to have a little look at. And I did promise in that we would look at the automatic method using the script. The script supplied by Broadcom is my favorite PowerShell. Was announced. Oops, sorry about that. This really came out after this blog that came out. As I said, it was leaked on Reddit. And the knowledge base articles the numbers were leaked on Reddit, and then later on the knowledge base articles were published, and then later on after that we got this important update changes to how you download VMware software binaries. And in the last video, part 90, if you're just coming straight into this one, then you'll want to go back and have a look at part 90, because that shows you how to download the tokens that you will need to either apply using the manual method or in the automatic method. Now, the automatic method is a PowerShell script. So if we look at the main link, which is off the important changes, and I'll put all these in the description so you don't have to worry about Googling for them. So knowledge base article 389276 is the scripted method. And if we have a little look at the scripted method, more importantly, right at the very bottom is the VMware depot change zip file. So we've already downloaded that. We've extracted it. We've got it on our PC here. There are a lot of prerequisites. So if you're not familiar with PowerShell, and you know, this is not a PowerShell tutorial by any means. I absolutely hate it, but there are a number of prerequisites, which are PowerShell 7.2 or later, VMware Power CLI version 13.3 or later, network connectivity to vCenter and or SDDC manager, where the PowerShell script will be executed from, outbound internet connectivity. They've actually got a little bit in the script that actually basically tests the download links after you've actually basically added the key, the download token. Now, I'm using the same download token that I used in the last video, but I've now revoked that. So we're going to use that download token first, and then we can see actually basically what happens if the download token is not working. And then we're actually going to use a download token that does work, that's not been revoked. And for those that asked, it was Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name. That was the track that I was listening to in before part 90. And I've also found as well, I have had a little look through the script, and in the script, from what I could see in the script, I could not find where it was restarting Update Manager. And I could not find where it was doing a sync update either. If you've watched the last video, part 90, you will see at the very end, in this knowledge base article, I said to you that 7 and 8, I missed part 7 and 8 on 4 sites that I'd updated. And I went back and checked those, and those are working absolutely perfectly, and I didn't have to actually basically restart Update Manager. So as I said before, mileage may vary, but 7 and 8 I didn't have to do, and the script doesn't do it either. So without further ado, I think I've mentioned all the Power CLI requirements. So let's actually basically get into the script and show you how it works. One thing I have noticed, if you are using PowerShell to try and update VMware Power CLI, again, there does seem to be some sort of kind of Broadcom whereby there is a certificate and you're getting to right old mess because Broadcom has been changing the certificates, I think, from VMware to Broadcom now. It all gets a little bit messy. So if you are trying to do a PowerShell upgrade by using the update module commandlet, and you've already got old version of VMware Power CLI on your machine, you're probably going to get this certificate error. My advice to you is just go and find your PowerShell modules in your program files or in your user profile and just whack them. And basically then just install Power CLI from scratch. Don't bother doing an update. And even if you start doing skip publisher check and all that sort of kind of nonsense, you know, you're going to get into a right mess in the future as well. So that was just an aside, and that's what I've just sort of kind of found. As I said, this particular machine here is used for video editing and lab stuff. It's not a daily driver. This had an old version of PowerShell on it, and then they got into a right mess with it all. So I sort of basically just deleted it. Okay, so the script in question is called VMware Depot Change. So we're just going to run that. Choose deployment type and connect. So is this a VCF deployment? Oh, they love VCF, don't they? No, it's not. So we're going to enter the vCenter FQDN. Notice here it says VQDN. FQDN. It's the orange juice. So vCenter 88-.cyrus-consultants.co.uk followed by enter. I'm going to use the administrator at vSphere.local. So I'm just going to enter the administrator at vSphere local password, and I've got this handy pasted in my clipboard. So I'm just going to right click and hit enter, and all being well, we're going to get a lovely info successfully connected to vCenter, vCenter 88.cyrus-consultants.co.uk as administrator at vSphere.local. It does say enter an FQDN, but I have tested it with an IP address for those of you out there that don't use FQDNs, and it does appear to work. But it does say use an FQDN. So we could actually basically connect to lots of vCenter servers. And this is probably really one benefit of using the script. If you've got lots of vCenter servers, different vCenter servers, you can apply the same download token that you've generated to those. So I'm only going to connect to one here in the lab. So I'm going to select no. Press any key to continue. Okay, so now I'm going to enter the download token. Now the download token that I'm entering here is the download token that I used in part 90. This has since been revoked. So I'm just going to paste that in there. It's going to turn around and tell you that the token format validated for token. All that validation is doing is actually just checking to see that it's a 32 character token. It's not doing any algorithm. It's not doing any check to check that that is a as it says there, valid token. It's just checking it's got 32 characters. So I'm going to hit enter. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check the existing depot configuration. Now this is the depot configuration that's currently configured on our VMware vCenter server. Now of course we did that in part 90. So that's actually going to go off and scan the existing state of our appliance, our vCenter server. And it's actually basically telling me that at the moment it has a custom depot configured using the existing token, of course, but then it's actually basically then trying to test that custom VMware depot, and it's obviously failing with an object not found because that token has now effectively been revoked. So I'm going to hit enter, but I am going to select 4 to update that token. But as you can now actually see, it's actually basically stating there's some error checking in there that basically is stating that that token is invalid. Please retry. So I'm going to hit enter. I'm now going to change the token. So this is the token that basically currently exists. So I'm going to paste that in there. So this is a working token that was generated. I'm going to hit enter. So it's basically saying token format validated. I'm going to hit enter. I'm now going to hit 4. It's now effectively going to write that, and it has done. And at the same time, it's also basically checked it as well. And it's also basically getting a valid reachable script execution. And we can hit enter. And we can now go and check the depot configuration again. If I hit 3, and it will scan our vCenter server and basically confirm that that token is working. And that's really it. That's really it. I can do 5. I can do a restore default configuration. So that's basically going to restore the configuration and put it back to how it was. And if we have a little look and we connect back to our patch setup, and let's just do a refresh, then hopefully we will see a default configuration. Oh, that's interesting because that looks like it's actually got, yeah, okay. So that has actually effectively reset it back to normal, the default configuration, of course, and the default configuration, of course, is no longer going to work after the 23rd of April 2025, and it's currently set to enabled. So if we go back again, hopefully the download token is still stored. So let's just update the configuration again, and that has updated the configuration. And if we do a refresh, then hopefully we will see those changes in the patch setup. And yes, we can, because effectively it's disabled all the default and it's incorporated the new there, and you can see the first part of the token. So that's it in a nutshell, in about 10 minutes. Thanks very much, Keith, for the reminder to do this video. If you've liked this video, then please thumbs up. If you don't like this video, then please thumbs up. But whatever you do, don't forget to subscribe and come back again for another Hancock's VMware half hour. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this, and goodbye. Oh, and you probably have noticed that the t-shirt's changed. There's some good continuity here, and there's some good video editing. And the reason that is that I really struggled with the PowerShell script yesterday evening, and after many hours I just called it a day, because not only was the script going wrong, but everything else was going wrong as well. So the keen-eyed amongst you will notice that t-shirts changed because this is a different day. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and goodbye.